Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and podcast. It's Courtney Shaw here, and I just recorded this entire episode and my microphone wasn't on. And you know what? I feel like I can do better, so you're gonna get the best version of this. And I'm excited because I haven't done an episode on getting your first paying client, even if you're starting from scratch. And I just thought, even though I like to work with people after they've done that, I feel like I'm doing a disservice by not helping more people get over that hump because this isn't something that needs to take a really long time. Getting your first client, most people make it take too long because you are dilly-dallying. And look, that's probably not fair to say because you're probably spending a lot of time busy and working and stressing and being anxious, but you're not doing the one thing that's going to lead to clients. And I'm here, look, I'm a tough love kind of coach. I like to tell it how it is. This is a great sort of foray into my approach to things is like, I need you to put down the Instagram profile and the Canva templates and the website. Like none of that shit matters. None of this marketing matters. Building a website doesn't matter. Masterminding your vision for the business. This is not the point right now. You have to just validate concept. That's it. Then you can get into that other stuff. But the problem with doing all that first, with trying to figure out what's the vision, what's the this, what's that, what do I want to do, is you're creating a storm of perfectionism of this idea. What perfectionism is like this ideal that reality doesn't match. And then you're going to have a headbutting sort of issue every time you try to implement your business and getting clients because nothing's going to match the vision because you're so far away from that right now. Okay. So what I want you to do in this phase of your business is I want you to watch this video. I'm going to give you a 4-step process for getting your first paying client. This is the strategy that I used to teach inside of my course, the original version of my course, Yay for Clients, which is just a new version of the course now because I don't cater to like beginners, right? I want you to have already had 1, 2, or 3 paying clients already before you come into Yay for Clients. I'm not helping you to like figure out what kind of business you should start and stuff like that. I'm helping you to be like, let's get some clients. Let's create a service. Let's create an offer. Let's follow the money and let's get you booked and paid. All right. So this video is fun because I get to serve this audience, which I haven't done in a really long time in my content. And I'm excited to sort of address this issue of getting that first paying client once and for all. You're going to see that if 2 people start at the same day trying to get clients and one person follows this process and the other person does what everyone else does, in a week, in 2 weeks, you're going to have a paying client. And in a month, 2 months, that person is still not going to have a paying client. And it will go on and on and on forever because they are stuck in their heads. Okay. So we need to cut that out. All right. So by the end of this episode, you're going to have the strategy. We're going to dive in. I have taught this to over 200 service providers. I can tell you now, this is what people are doing who are successful. I just want you to understand how important that is. I'm going to skip ahead some of the notes I wrote down because I just want to dive in to this topic. Very important. Okay. So this is like the initial thing you do to get started. This is like how we light the spark. We light the fuse. But if you want to get clients after this, if you've already had a client, I have a new guide that I created. I'm so excited about this. I was like, how do I create something that's so exciting and just costs $1? It is 100 ways to get a client this week. It is the 100 best ways to get a client this week. It even highlights for you the ones that are the go-to ones that I want you to use so that you don't get overwhelmed trying to figure out which one to use, with a video kind of walking you through the list of 100 ways to get clients, and it's $1. So you can go ahead and get that in the description of the video on YouTube, show notes on the podcast. I'm going to put it over at CourtneyShaw.com/100. So you can go and grab that $1 product. All right. This is a new thing that I'm doing. I'm very excited about that. Okay. So let's get into step 1. We're going to get you your first paying client. Now, you might be a little bit shocked to hear this, but the first thing I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you work with 3 beta clients for free. Okay. I kind of plot twist, actually that's spoiler alert, not plot twist, kind of both, right? Spoiler alert, you're going to work with 3 beta clients for free. But before you freak out and you say no to that, I want you to hear me out. Because in step 4, I'm going to explain to you why this isn't going to be a problem. The reason it becomes a problem for people is because they do things for free because they don't have a plan. It's not part of a strategy. They just do it because they feel bad charging or they don't know what to do. That's what gets you stuck, okay? So what we need to do first is we need to create the offer that you're going to offer to 3 people, okay? So the offer that you're going to create, we're not going to overthink it. It just needs to be like one clear deliverable. Yes, it needs to be something done for you. I am so sorry to my coaches because I work with a lot of coaches. You have to do something that has a deliverable. If it doesn't have a deliverable, it's going to be really hard for you to quote unquote follow the money, which is what I teach in the 5K Blitz, because you're trying to do something that's way too vague and you don't have the marketing chops to sell it yet. You can take coaching and turn it into a deliverable. Let's say you're a health coach and you work with perimenopausal women and you want to help them to design like a new the 10 daily commandments for their health or whatever. The deliverable would be the 10 daily commandments, right? Like you need to get specific, okay? Now in the 5K Blitz, I give people a list of like, I think it's more than 100 very specific offers that sell in all different niches, like every niche imaginable, to prevent you from creating something that's not going to sell. All right. Because that's the biggest problem people run into. So we're just going to prevent that. All right. But your one offer, it needs to be time bound. I would say 4 weeks if you can, or less if you can, right? Like if I was like, oh, I'm going to write you a sales page, it's going to take a week. That's fine. I don't want it taking longer than 4 weeks. And it should have like either one main deliverable or like a few smaller deliverables. Here's an example. This is the literal beta offer or a version of the beta offer I did back in 2012 when I started my copywriting business. I went to 3 people. I did this exact strategy, by the way. This is why I became successful fast with this and got paid fast. I went to 3 people and I offered to write their website copy. And I told them that I'm going to do 4 pages on your website, let's say. And I know it was like homepage, about page, maybe it was like a services page, and I'm like back in 2012, people had very different things on their websites, but let's say like, let's say blog page. Okay. So let's say there were 4 pages and that's what I was doing on their website. So I said, okay, over 4 weeks, week 1, I'm going to deliver this, week 2, this, week 3, this, week 4, this. And in the weeks on Tuesday, you're going to get a draft from me. You're going to give me feedback by Wednesday, and I'm going to give you the final by Friday. And I'm going to tell you this, and this is like a little teaser for step 2, is like how we get them to actually do that is kind of key. But you need to have a deliverable, okay? Or multiple small deliverables, but not like a bunch of random stuff, okay? This is one clear offer. And keep it simple enough that you can explain it in 2 sentences. Okay, so for example, when you're going out and pitching people, which we'll talk about in the next step, you're going to say like, hey, I'm a website copywriter. I want to help you to get sales from your website. My beta offer is I'm going to write 4 pages of copy for your website that are going to lead to you booking clients. And those pages are going to be your homepage, your about page, your services page, and your freebie page. I keep making up the 4th one because I just don't think websites need as much stuff anymore. And you get 1 round of revisions, and here's how it works. Okay. What I do not want you to do is we're not building sales pages here. You're not writing proposals. You're not like, do not make this a whole freaking thing because you're avoiding putting it out there. That's what are we avoiding? We got to stop. We got to put it out there as fast as possible. This is beta. It's supposed to be rough. I do want you to put it in a Google Doc. I want you to make it clear what's included and what's not. You don't have to put it in a Google Doc. Even it could be an email. I did mine just in an email. It's just like, here in the email, it's just like, here's an outline of what's included, okay? But a doc, it's just text-based. And give them the timeline and give it to them. So that begs the question, who are we offering this to, okay? So we need to find 3 beta clients. We want them to be in the Goldilocks zone. Like we want them to be the right people. We don't just want any 3 clients, but we also don't want to be so picky that we're not getting, again, we're using it as an avoidance technique, okay? So when I did mine, I didn't know what kind of clients I wanted to work with. So I picked 3 people that were very different. I picked the coffee shop that I worked for. I did I was a barista there, and I did their web copy. And then I had a friend who had like sort of an Etsy shop, and I did her website copy. And then I did it for a photographer who actually met through an online program, which is a great place to find clients. And I did all three. And in doing that, I realized like the photographer was the only one who was really an ideal client. But you're going to identify where do you have a pot of people? Who do you know who'd be a good fit for this? And here's the red flag. If you don't know anyone, then you can't start a business doing that, because who the fuck are your clients going to be? Who? Where do you think the clients are going to come from? The sky? Like Instagram? That's not how it works, guys, with services. It's people you can reach out and touch, even if it's on Instagram, which I teach in my Instagram DM workshop. I'll put the link below for that as well. It's not about like I post content and I get clients. Like that's not how it's so much more complicated than that. This is why we start service-based businesses first, because people are going to pay you more money and you already have access to these people. But what this video is about is identifying where those leads are, okay? So your network, friends, family, past colleagues, like whatever, right? Neighbors, whatever. Facebook groups that you've been in that you could like put this out there if you're allowed to do that. Local community groups, LinkedIn, or any social media platforms that you're on. Ask for referrals. Ask people you know. Ask your friends and family members. Do you know anyone who would fit this offer that I could potentially do a beta round for? Okay. Now, I realize you're still like, I don't want to work for free. And I just want to remind you, in step 4, we're going to close that problem for you. Okay. So stick with me. We got one more step before that. We're going to go like into how you pitch it. Okay. So you're just going to say, hey, so-and-so, I'm launching this new service. I'm going to take on 3 beta clients and I would love you to be one of them. That line is brilliant. Okay. Normally this service is going to cost X, or like it's going to cost at minimum X. Okay. And here's what's included. Quick little brief overview. Are you interested? Can you let me know by date? That's the template. That's what you're going to say. So watch that back. Watch what I just said back and write it down. Slap it into Claude or ChatGPT or whatever. Okay. And just like, remember, you just need to find 3 people. Like, and the fact that this makes you uncomfortable is good. That's what you're avoiding when you're doing all this marketing stuff behind the scenes. All right. And you're like, I just want it to be clear. And it's like, it's not going to be clear. You just got to get something out there. Okay. Now, step 3 is we deliver the offer and we get feedback and testimonials. When you're delivering the work for this client, you need to be doing a few different things. 4 things that you need to be doing. Number 1, you need to show up as if the thing costs $1,000 or like $2,000. Number 2, you need to document everything that you're doing so that you can like rinse and repeat the process and learn from it and create some systems for yourself. Okay. So if you need to take notes, screenshots, make templates, Google Docs, whatever, do that. Number 3 is you need to ask for feedback along the way. It could be conversations with the clients. It could be a form that you have them fill out, but you need that. You need that language. This is vital. And number 4, you need to make sure that you're paying attention to what's working and what's not, because this is a laboratory. This is an experiment, and we need to be agile in this moment. This is why we're not creating some fancy frilly service that we're attached to and then not open to hearing that people don't care about these features that we added in. Okay? At the end of the service, you're going to request a testimonial, a video if possible, get their permission to use that in like your marketing, and then ask them, do you know anyone else who might be a good fit for this service? Okay. I'm looking for clients. You're my beta client. Tell them how much you loved working with them, why it was great, why you're like, the energy of that matters so much. Okay. This is going to help you. This whole process helps you build confidence, get testimonials and social proof, get referrals. That's how you're going to get your paid client, and refine your process. So let's go into step 4, because I know that's what you're waiting for. Now we're going to transition into paid clients. So now you've worked with 3 people for free. How are you going to get the paid clients? Aren't people thinking it's free now? No, because you said it's not. Guys, I remember when I started my business, I thought that like I would go to business jail, because I was like, how can I just make random shit up and people buy it? Because that's business. We all have middle class brainwashing from school that like you study a certain thing and you get certified and you get this and then you do a job. That's not how the economy works unless you're in a very regulated profession. And even then people like take the regulations sometimes way too literally or let it restrict them more than they're actually restricting them because we're so afraid of being creative because we didn't learn how to be innovative and be entrepreneurs. So what I need you to understand is that you just say what the price is now and that's the price. That's it. It's as simple as that. Beta is over. You now have proven testimonials. They missed the opportunity to do beta. You're more confident and you just charge differently. And so you're just going to announce that, share the new pricing, create your lazy sales system, which I teach in the Client Booking Machine Masterclass. Again, I'll put the links below, and go get more clients, which is, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that in the get 100 ways to get a new client this week. Okay, so you've got lots of resources that you can use to get this done, but in this video I walked you through every step of the process. Create your beta offer, find 3 beta clients, deliver and get feedback and testimonials, and then transition that into paid clients. That's how you get it set up. Then you use the strategies in the 100 Ways to Book a Client This Week guide. It's only $1 to get more and more clients every single week. You can join me in the 5K Blitz to learn how to get $5,000 worth of client work. You can join me in the 6-Figure Sprint when you're ready to build your 6-figure service-based business, which you can absolutely do in the next 12 months, even if you're just getting started. If you loved this episode, please subscribe wherever you're consuming this piece of content, YouTube or podcast, wherever. Go subscribe on the other one. Go find my YouTube channel. Links in the show notes. Go subscribe to my podcast, the Yay for Business podcast, and drop a comment. Let me know what your beta offer is going to be. Let me know if you're going to try it. I want to reply to as many comments as I can, and I will see you in the next episode.